The scandal over former CIA director is affecting other parts of the world.
Gun sales have gone up since the election. Hello everybody and welcome to the live Channel 14 News. I'm Sean Saputo.
And I'm Abigail Letcher. The scandal over former CIA director David Petraeus is causing a lot of ripple effects around the world after he stepped down this past weekend. CNN's Emily Schmidt has more on the developing story.
In simple terms, this is a story about a former top general, David Petraeus, his successor, John Allen, and two women, Petraeus biographer Paula Broadwell and Petraeus family friend Jill Kelly. Unraveling the connection between them is complicated, involving the FBI, CIA, Pentagon, the White House, and Congress.
I am puzzled by much of what has occurred in the FBI investigation.
The former CIA director admitted to an affair with Broadwell, which came to light when the FBI investigated what one U.S. official has described as jealous emails Broadwell sent to Kelly. Now General Allen is under investigation for allegedly sending to Kelly email messages one defense official described as flirtatious. Defense officials say authorities are scouring 20 to 30,000 pages of documents.
It really makes you wonder how he would even have the time to do it and the motivation to do that from afar.
The news about Allen, which the National Security Council spokesman says President Obama learned about the same day Petraeus resigned, has put Allen's nomination to be NATO's Supreme Allied Commander on hold. Allen denies any wrongdoing and remains on duty in Afghanistan.
The President has great confidence in the military, great confidence in his commanders. And will continue to have that confidence.
A defense official tells CNN there's a distinct possibility the Defense Department investigation into Allen is connected to the Petraeus FBI investigation. FBI agents removed property from Broadwell's North Carolina home on Monday.
She's cooperating, which is a good idea. The question, are these classified documents?
The answer may show if national security was threatened by personal choices. In Washington, I'm Emily Schmidt.
Gun owners from across the country are stocking up and taking advantage of their Second Amendment rights. CNN's Chris Bungard reports on this story.
We're just here for fun, just getting out of the office for a little bit and shooting.
This is one of the few places you can come and, talk weapons.
After the election, sales have gone through the roof.
Dennis Williams knows there's a lot of reasons why his suburban Nashville store called Guns and Leather is crowded. But the trend shown in 2008 of increased gun sales after the election of Barack Obama is playing out again.
It was record sales then. We've set new records this time.
The reasons for the record sales vary, just like the store's wide variety of firearms that attract gun owners.
I heard the same thing in 2008. I heard people are scared that their gun rights are going to be taken away. I didn't see it happen at that time, and I'm not worried about it this time.
Everybody was thinking that there are going to be a lot of restrictions on buying firearms. I don't think so. I think they're more for the people who wants to do harm.
Most weapon sales figures won't be known until early December, but one indicator is the number of required state background checks when a firearms purchase is made. Figures from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation show that around the 2008 election, background checks statewide went from 23,000 for October to more than 38,000 in November.
It happens from time to time when there's people feel uneasy or not sure what the government's going to do.
October this year for background checks was nearly 34,000, up from 31,000 in September. That's on pace for another record year in Tennessee for background checks of those who buy firearms.
Senator John McCain and Lindsey Graham have both pledged to block the upcoming Secretary of State nominee, Susan Rice. This stance has drawn criticism from President Obama after a rare presidential conference on Wednesday. The reason for the upcoming block by both congressmen is that Rice was misinformed and ill-prepared. The tension comes after the September 11th attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi. Both McCain and Graham want a Watergate-style investigation into the matter for the mishandling of information. McCain would not even rule out using a filibuster to block the nomination. Rice's nomination would replace Hillary Clinton as the U.S. Secretary of State in Obama's upcoming second term.
An explosion has left a hole in an Indianapolis neighborhood. 2 people were killed and 5 homes were damaged in the explosion that investigators still can't figure out. Yesterday's explosion was not caused because of a leak outside the home, like investigators originally thought. They are now concentrating their efforts on looking at things such as appliances inside the home and sending parts to be tested. Since multiple homes were completely destroyed, investigators have not said which house they think the explosion originated from. Officials believe it could be about 2 weeks before the neighborhood is cleaned up.
Jefferson Regional Medical Center is under investigation for the substitution of medications. We'll have all the details right after the break.
The Yellow Jacket newspaper is an award-winning student-run newspaper. The publication has won first place with special merit from the American Scholastic Press Association. The newspaper contains 4 sections: campus, region, sports, and arts and life. A new issue comes out every Thursday and is available on campus, in the community, and online. For more information about the Yellow Jacket, contact the executive editor, Sarah Bell, via email at bel7461@student.waynesburg.edu.
After an internal investigation at the Jefferson Regional Medical Center, an employee has been fired after substituting one medication for another. The hospital says that a pharmacy technician whose name isn't being released handled the medication packaging in the hospital and substituted the narcotic oxycodone for a non-narcotic drug. The hospital has also said that approximately 362 patients who received treatment between June and October of this year may receive some of the non-narcotic medication instead of their prescribed oxycodone. Jefferson Regional claims they reported the incident to the Pennsylvania Department of Health first and then contacted the Attorney General's Bureau of Narcotics Investigation Division as well as the Drug Enforcement Agency. So far, no patients have reported any reactions or side effects from the non-narcotic drug.
A vehicle belonging to an elderly lady was seriously damaged in Beaver County yesterday. The door of 76-year-old Marjorie Bailey was nearly torn off in an apparent hit and run. The family who owns the car says it's totaled. It was their only mode of transportation, and they want to know who could do this and not report it. Several witnesses say they saw a driver in an SUV scrape and slide against the vehicle multiple times. Bailey's son is currently in the hospital, and she has no transportation now. Witnesses saw a female driver but were unable to grab a license plate number, but gave Ambridge police as many details as possible. The police say they followed a fluid trail for some time. But when the trail ended, so did the initial search for the damaged SUV. The search for the SUV continues.
A father is behind bars today after the alleged assault of his infant son. The infant has a fractured skull, multiple broken ribs, and a fractured tibia. The 3-month-old infant has previously had 2 black eyes and bruises on his face. Police say 27-year-old Craig Underwood of Newcastle is facing charges. Police first heard about the problem last week, and when they went to talk to Underwood, he was gone. Underwood was later found at the city mission in Newcastle, and police arrested him for assault. The infant is now doing well and back at home with the rest of his family. Underwood was scheduled to have a hearing today, but the Lawrence County District Attorney says they need more time to prepare the case.
Police found one person dead and another sick after responding to a gas leak yesterday. It happened around 3 p.m. at Broadway Avenue in Stowe Township. The police say it appeared to be an attempted murder-suicide involving a boyfriend and girlfriend. They say the male shot the female and then turned the gas on to try and kill himself. It was the girlfriend who was found shot dead on the scene. The boyfriend is expected to make a full recovery, and Allegheny County Police are continuing to investigate the scene.
One Waynesburg University department is making national news again. All that and more coming up next.
What's that? I don't know. Something I kind of made. Ooh, what's it do?
What do I do? Well, thanks for asking. I ring my bell and I like to dance. What do I do? Well, thanks for asking.
Ow! Yeah, it still needs a little work.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org.
The nursing program continues its excellence. Amanda Bell has more on the story.
For the 5th consecutive year, the Waynesburg University nursing program has achieved a 100% pass rate on the National Council Licensure Examination for registered nurses.
Rate reflects the NCLEX passage rate. Every year, every nursing program will record or report a certain passage rate. So all graduates, no matter what nursing program they go to, take the NCLEX, which is the National Licensure Exam for nursing. So whether you're a diploma grad, associate degree grad, or a baccalaureate grad, you will go take your boards once you pass your program. And that means 5 years in a row, 100% pass rate means that that's an excellent record. Okay, you want to have a look at anybody's pass rate to determine if that's a school you want to consider. I think we're all committed very much to the mission of the university, which leads us to our mission and our philosophy of nursing about caring and reaching out to others of all population groups.
Waynesburg University will be looking forward to a 6th consecutive pass rate from the nursing program. For Channel 14 News, I'm Amanda Bell.
The Family Literacy Program in the Children's Department at Balby Public Library is celebrating National Gaming Day by hosting Family Game Night. Old-fashioned game playing will be offered for every member of the family. The library will also offer its 5th annual Turkey Bowling event. The program is tomorrow night from 4 to 8 p.m. at the library. To register for this event, call the library at 724-627-9776.
A homeless woman convicted by a jury last month of robbing an elderly Franklin Township women's home in March pleaded guilty Friday to unrelated burglary charges. 33-year-old Mary Ann McChesney pleaded guilty to burglary, conspiracy, theft, and receiving stolen property. Last month, she was convicted by a jury of robbing a woman who let her into her home to use the phone. McChesney was returned to the Greene County Jail and is being held on $35,000 bond. She will be sentenced on charges in both cases at a later date.
Thanks to the Marcellus shale gas industry, Carmichael's Borough Council will have more revenue in its 2013 budget. The borough received a check for almost $17,000 from the state for the Bureau's portion of the Act 13 Marcellus Shale natural gas drilling impact fee. The state recommended a portion to the set aside in a capital reserve fund for later use. Borough Secretary Brandy Strait says a separate account for the money will be set up now, and she will later place some of it in a new capital reserve fund account.
Coming up after the break, Nika Anschutz will have your business report. Stay tuned.
I'm starving. What's for breakfast?
Guten Tag!
Johannes, Franz!
I bring you arts-enriched Raisinblams, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you. Bobby? Susie? Don't worry, that's just the power of the arts!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
With Christmas right around the corner, Nika, how many people have actually already started their Christmas shopping?
I can't believe it. It's not even Thanksgiving and people are already heading out to the malls to start their holiday shopping. A recent survey from retailers shows that more than half of Americans have already started shopping for the holiday season. Credit cards are useful tools but cannot be that safe. Karen Kaifa has more in this week's Consumer Watch.
The season for spending is upon us, and year after year, consumers are reminded of the dangers of holiday debt. But responsible spending doesn't have to mean putting your credit cards on ice. If you've got a card with rewards or points attached between travel and gift spending, credit card expert Beverly Harzog says this is the time of year to make it work for you.
You can even start using those reward points to buy gifts. So it really is a good idea to use your cards as long as you don't overspend and as long as you keep track of what you're spending.
That's the key, whether using credit or cash. Make a budget and don't wait until after the new year to see if you stuck to it. Reevaluate spending regularly. And while in store, beware the allure of the retailer's credit card.
The positive they try to sell you on at the register is that, you can get 10 or 15% off right away. And you know, that is very enticing, but it's still a good idea to read that credit card agreement first.
That agreement will clue you in on the card's interest rate, which can make a little holiday debt a lot bigger if not paid off right away. That's something to keep in mind for any holiday purchase on credit. For Consumer Watch, I'm Karen Capa.
After being re-elected for his second term, President Barack Obama gave his first press conference yesterday. Issues that were covered ranged from the deadly attacks on Americans in Benghazi to immigration reform. The president also talked about the $7 trillion in government spending cuts and tax increases that will take effect in January. President Obama believes that the solution to economical issues won't come in lowering tax rates for the wealthiest Americans, and stressed the way forward is through jobs and growth.
Right now, our economy is still recovering from a very deep and damaging crisis. So our top priority has to be jobs and growth. We've got to build on the progress that we've made because this nation succeeds when we've got a growing, thriving middle class. And that's the idea at the core of the plan that I talked about on the campaign trail over the last year. Rewarding manufacturers and small businesses that create jobs here, not overseas. Providing more Americans the chance to earn the skills that businesses are looking for right now.
President Obama believes that since both parties set the January fiscal cliff deadline, Democrats and Republicans will make decisions together in a balanced and sensible way. More than 2.5 million Prius second-generation models are being recalled worldwide. Toyota was prompted by problems with the car's steering shaft and electric motor-powered pumps. Neglect of the problem may cause the vehicle to be damaged and not switch into hybrid mode if they are not fixed. In the U.S. alone, 670,000 recalled vehicles were sold. Other cars recalled were spread across Japan and Europe. Toyota plans to notify affected owners by mail starting in December. This is the second major recall in the past 2 months for Toyota. Customers nationwide have filed a class lawsuit against Papa John's Pizza. The $250 million lawsuit says the pizza chain has sent out 500,000 unwanted spam texts. The messages offered pizza deals, but customers received 15 or 16 texts in a row and all in the middle of the night. One plaintiff said Papa John's never asked permission to text the advertisement, which were banned because of the Telephone Consumer Protection Act of 1991. Plaintiffs are looking for $500 per message, but could receive up to $1,500 per text if Papa John's is found to have willfully broken the law. Papa John's corporate office says that they were not involved because the lawsuit only involves a small number of their franchisees. For Channel 14 Business, I'm Nika Anschutz. Your Jacket Sports update with Carson Fox starts right after this.
The Waynesburg Area Chamber of Commerce represents member businesses, agricultural, professional, industrial, educational, and community interests that enhance economic and civil well-being. They operate with the approved chamber status of Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce executives, one of only 12 in the state to qualify. They have dedicated a full-time office located on 143 East High Street to serve the needs of their members and to promote the Greene County area. Some of the many annual events they have committed themselves to include the annual Downtown Waynesburg Christmas Parade and the annual Members Golf Outing. On top of all these achievements and outings that they are involved in, they were also named as one of the 25 largest Chamber of Commerce in southwestern Pennsylvania by the Pittsburgh Business Times for the 7th year in a row. You can contact them for more information by visiting them during their office hours, Monday through Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. or calling them at 724-627-5926. You can also email them at waynesburgchamber@windstream.net.
The Waynesburg University football team's pursuit of perfection fell just one game short. However, we'll get to see them play one last time this weekend. Carson, can you give us the details on this?
Yes, Sean, the regular season is unfortunately over, but there is a chance for redemption for this university football team. The undefeated Waynesburg football team's regular season ended on a low note last Saturday as the team lost to arch rival Washington and Jefferson 31-14. The Yellow Jackets lost the outright PAC title and an automatic berth in the NCAA Division III playoffs. Kick returner Christian Jackson seemed to light a spark for the team and the record-setting crowd when he ran a 55-yard punt back for a touchdown, but W&J refused to give up any more points to the Jackets for the rest of the afternoon. Though the Jackets also missed out on an at-large berth in the tournament, the team will play in an ECAC bowl game this Saturday at 1 o'clock against future PAC member Carnegie Mellon. It will be the first time in school history that Waynesburg University will be playing in an ECAC bowl game at home. In other Waynesburg football news, 17 players made the All-PAC team, the most players from one school. The Waynesburg wrestling team started its regular season this past weekend at the Washington and Jefferson Invitational. Even with 2 starters out because of injuries, Waynesburg finished 4th out of 17 teams, ahead of PAC foes W&J and Teal. Freshman Gordon Bieber and sophomores Chris Milligan and Patrick Jennings all had fourth place finishes on the day. 165-pounder Sam Guidi finished 5th, and freshman Greg Coomer finished 6th, as well as having a 50-second pin. The team came home for a battle with Shippensburg University last night, falling 34-7. The wrestlers are back in action Saturday for a quad match at Lake Erie College. The men's basketball team kicks off its regular season this weekend in Beaver Falls for the Geneva Coaches vs. Cancer Classic. They take on Pitt Greensburg tomorrow and Penn State Fayette on Saturday. After starting out the season 1-4 last year, the squad looks to start off on a positive note. The women's basketball team starts its regular season as well this weekend in Meadville for the Greg Richards 2008 Memorial Tip-Off Tournament. They play John Carroll University tomorrow and will play in either the championship or consolation game on Saturday. After losing in the PAC tournament semifinals last year, the Lady Jackets are picked 3rd in the preseason PAC polls. Congratulations to senior cross-country runner Megan Fortna and junior football player Bertrand Nagompa for being named this week's Waynesburg University Athletes of the Week. Fortna is honored for finishing her career on a high note at the NCAA Division III Mideast Regional Championships, where she finished in 63rd place out of 346 runners. Nagompa is honored for his strong performance in Waynesburg's loss to W&J, in which he had 144 rushing yards and a touchdown on 22 carries. Congratulations again to both athletes. I'm Carson Fox, and that's sports. Nick Farrell tells you what you can expect in this week's issue of the Yellow Jacket up next.
Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday. Salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, swap snacks Sunday. All the healthy children eat well and move a lot. And move a lot. And move a lot. Eat well and move a lot. 60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Skip a rope Saturday, freeze tag Friday, tap dance Thursday. Whole grains Wednesday, try a veggie Tuesday. Let's move Monday, split the sweet Sunday. Eat well and move a lot. Today is Saturday. Yeah. Today is Saturday. All the healthy children, all the healthy children. Get ideas. Get involved. Get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
And the students here have already gotten the chance to vote for today's president, and it looks as if they'll be serving others over break. Nick, can you explain more about this?
That's right, Abby. As plenty of students are planning to go home for the holidays, there's still much going on here on campus. As Abby said, a new issue of the Yellow Jacket newspaper hit stands today, and here's a brief look at what you'll find in this week's publication. Last week, America decided that President Barack Obama was the right man to lead the United States for another 4 years. Here at Waynesburg University, many students hit the polls on Election Day for the very first time. According to Waynesburg's Director of Career Services, Marie Kaufman, these same students will likely be affected by Obama's administration in a positive way. Though the unemployment rate in America is currently situated around 8%, as many as 35 states have seen an increase in jobs over the last year of Obama's presidency. Though the future is unpredictable, Kaufman said that the students who put in the appropriate work here at Waynesburg will be the most successful under any circumstance after graduating. Coffee and energy drinks are so-called lifesavers for some college students. The high concentration of caffeine in those beverages can give students the energy needed to stay awake in class or stay alert while cramming for an upcoming test. But Nurse Director of Student Health Services Jen Shearing says that too much caffeine is never a good thing for a student. She said that many more students are complaining of the side effects of too much caffeine. Those side effects include fatigue, anxiety, and heart palpitations. Shearing reminds all students that a proper sleep schedule and healthy diet are better alternatives than excessive amounts of energy drinks and coffee. Each year during Thanksgiving break, students are given the opportunity to participate in one of Waynesburg's fall mission trips. This year, some students will serve domestically through the Pittsburgh Project and the Greene County Habitat for Humanity, while others will go to Guatemala to serve the young children living in an orphanage. Waynesburg University encourages students to take part in at least one mission trip during their studies in order to grow in knowledge and in faith. And as always, the Arts and Life section is filled with neat news about campus happenings, so be sure to take a peek at this week's back page and read about some famous Thanksgiving myths and why Waynesburg students are looking forward to the Thanksgiving break. The Yellow Jacket wishes the students, faculty, and staff of Waynesburg University a relaxing break filled with fun times with family and a very happy holiday celebration. So before you head home for Thanksgiving, be sure to grab your copy of the Yellow Jacket newspaper, which is on stands now. To view the jacket online, visit www.issuu.com/WU Yellow Jacket. And reporting for the Yellow Jacket newspaper, I'm Nick Farrell. With a look at this week's weather, here's J.D. Leidick.
Hope you enjoyed the warm weather because the cold weather is on its way back. I'll have all the details and more, along with 5-day forecasts, right after the break.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
It's currently 48 degrees here in Waynesburg. Today's high is 50 degrees and a low of 28 tonight with partly cloudy skies. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast. Tomorrow the high will be 51 and partly cloudy skies with a low of 27 at night. Saturday, the high will be 53 degrees for the game at John F. Wiley Stadium, and at night it will be a low of 28. Sunday, the high will be 55 degrees with mostly sunny skies and a low of 30 degrees. Monday will be 55, partly cloudy skies with a low of 30 degrees. And wrapping up the 5-day forecast, Tuesday will be 53 degrees, mostly cloudy with a low of 34. Currently, it's 48 degrees in Waynesburg. For Channel 14 Weather, I'm J.D. Leidick.
Thank you for joining us on Channel 14 News this evening.
Make sure to tune in 2 weeks for Live at 5. Have a great weekend and a very safe holiday, everybody.